Back in book 1 of Sailing Adrift, we completely refit our 1972 vintage sailboat in our driveway. And then we splashed it into the Columbia River. And guess what? It floats. So now we're gonna move aboard and live our lives on the water. Last week we had a bit of a situation, which resulted in some damage.
Oh, I see it.
But Drifter is officially leaving Portland today, and we can't let a project like this slow us down. What's on the docket for today?
It's the day after our dock, and this morning Kelly and I spent some time doing some research on what we should have done, and the consensus is this: with a full keel, if a current is pushing into your boat and that is pushing against the dock, just don't park it there. That's basically what people are saying. Yeah. They say things like you can damage your boat and you can hurt your crew, and it's just not a good idea. Unfortunately, when we were doing our research on what you're supposed to do, the examples we were seeing were for like smaller sailboats and power boats and things like that. No one was like, hey, on a blue water ready full keel sailboat, this is what you do when you're in this situation. And so I think our biggest mistake we made yesterday is we didn't creep up to where we were clear of those nasty bolts. And we didn't clear that pylon because of our solar arch, and that's a different factor that some people don't have to deal with as well. If I was instantly stuck there again, rather than experiencing PTSD and shutting down completely, I would have a game plan. We would have crawled our way up the dock carefully with 2 people fending off the dock to make sure we didn't have any damage until we were on a nice padded area of the dock and there was no big pylon in the way. That way, if we had to like gas it and push off, we're pushing off against the rail of the dock rather than some nasty freaking bolts.
Yeah.
Having said that, we will do our damnedest to avoid that, and now we have a game plan if that's the case. I just hope we don't have to experience something like that again, and I hope this was a painful yet recoverable mistake that we've made.
Yeah, lesson learned.
So, next up, it's time to fix the damage.
Yeah.
Let's go look at it.
It's a nice slice.
Yeah, here's our owie. It's a pretty damn good gouge that the head of that bolt gave the boat. As far as we can tell, there's no other physical damage to the boat. So we're going to position the boat so we're kind of cockeyed in our slip so I can get at it from here. I'm going to grind that down to a 6-to-1 on both sides, so it'll end up being about, based on what I'm seeing, it's probably about a 1/4 inch gouge in. So we'll go out about 3 inches on either side just to be safe. And then we'll put up a couple pieces of fiberglass, let that cure. Tomorrow we'll ferret, and then the day after that we'll give it a prime to keep it protected. And it'll be like it never happened. It'll look a lot like this, like the rest of the boat.
Yeah.
First thing we got to do is ease the lines in the forward area so we can pull this in as far as possible, and then we'll tie everything back up. So the current should help us out here. Maybe come here, hold this line, and when I tell you to, tie it off.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready. This is clearly a 2-person job. Where's our cameraman today? Now that the sanding is done, it's time to clean with acetone. And apply a little heat, cause it's wet out here. And we want a dry surface before it's time for epoxy.
It is officially 42 degrees out right now, which means we are 2 degrees over the minimum for epoxy, but it's supposed to be this temperature all day. But Kelly, we ground it down, and that was a 2-person job because we had to use the vacuum so we weren't contaminating the river. That would be bad.
Yep.
So it was a 2-person job, and we couldn't get the camera set up without blocking it with our bodies.
Yes.
But it's all ground down now. It's wiped down with acetone. Kelly heated it up with the heat gun, and now I'm going to put in a layer of thickened epoxy just to kind of give everything a base, and then we'll put up 2 layers of glass. One slightly bigger than the other. We'll kind of like bevel it. We'll put the bigger one in first and then the smaller one on top. This kind of just fills any voids that there might be and gives the fiberglass something to grab onto. All right, now let that sit for a second, only because I need time to get the fiberglass out and a chip brush and mix up some resin. And then I'm going to build it. We'll get it all wet on a piece of plastic first, and then we'll just put the whole thing on there with some
Peel ply.
peel ply, yeah, on top.
Since it's so cold and within just a few degrees of our epoxy curing, we decided a little more heat would help speed things along. Just slap that on there.
Yeah, I'm upcycling this bag. I'm gonna turn it into a cute little mini skirt when I'm done. Okay, so we're gonna use this to build the patch with the fiberglass and epoxy, and then put the peel ply over it, and then take it out and kind of stick it on the boat.
Okay.
I should put the peel ply on it last.
Yeah, makes sense.
The first layer should be the biggest. You want to make like a taco shape, because when you sand, if you go smallest to biggest, you end up just sanding the last piece completely off. But if you taco shape it, all of them are kind of inset into each other, and then you get the edges of that thing. So.
Gotcha.
You dig?
Yep.
I knew you would, Kelly. You dig it the most.
It's like you've done this before.
Yep. You mean gouged my boat? Yep, I have. This is not the tape I thought we had left over. See how much thinner this is? Mm-hmm. It's not as structurally strong as that other stuff, so we're going to end up using 5 layers instead of the original 2. It's rated to do bulkhead, so it's not like it's like inferior for structural work. It's just going to require more layers.
Okay. And a few other items from our stowage spots, like underneath our bed and our tool shed, also known as the V-berth. Your gloves, dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wifey. Have you ever been to Wifey's World?
No.
Oh.
What's that like?
It's a lady that does a lot of jobs.
Oh, now I know. Never
Yeah.
to go there.
Oh, you don't like to watch jobs?
No, I don't like to watch jobs.
Who doesn't like to watch jobs?
What's happening in that cup?
This is epoxy resin, Kelly. I'm mixing up some non-thickened epoxy.
Oh.
So we've already spread a thickened epoxy on the boat.
It's been a while since we played this, but we used to have this fun drinking game where you have to take a sip every time we mention thickened epoxy. You should try it. It makes our early episodes way more entertaining.
Both of those count, because if you take the word non out, you just get thickened epoxy, so you have to drink 3 times so far. Maybe even more.
Anyway.
The job should be wet. Alright, so we're going to wet all of these layers out, and then we'll just peel the whole thing off and set it right down on top of our thickened epoxy outside. Then hit it with some heat.
Good strategy.
Thank you. And then tomorrow, when we fair, we're going to have to do a lot of the same type of things.
About done there?
Pretty much got it, yeah. Just kind of using up the rest of the resin, because we might as well. Here we go. Beauty of epoxy is, it doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to be done well, because you can fix it with sanding after the fact. It's brisk, baby.
Yep. Time to apply the peel ply.
Ah yes, that's nice and warm.
Yeah.
I want to give the boat a hug. Then a good massage to try to get any last bubbles out that we can. But that is it for today.
Alrighty.
Do you mind hitting that with some heat?
Sure.
Kelly is the resident heat gun expert because she has used blow dryers for most of her life.
Yes, most of my life I haven't seen using a blow dryer. After we peeled the peel ply off the hull, we decided this was a good stopping point to be able to leave. It wasn't pretty, but we can make it pretty later. Time to get the boat ready and head out. And where are we going, you might ask? Well, we're gonna get out of Portland and make our way towards Astoria, near the mouth of the Columbia River. From there, we'll head down to Mexico when the timing is right and our weather window opens up. Since we don't really have a clear window now, there's really no rush to get there, so we're gonna take our time along the river and make a few stops along the way. You can make this entire passage in 16 to 18 hours, but why rush it? We thought this would be the perfect time to keep practicing things, like anchoring, docking and undocking, checking our autopilot, perfecting our checklists, getting used to life on the hook, and making sure our engine is up to snuff. While it is extremely exciting to be able to leave, we will definitely miss our friends in the marina. We haven't lived here that long, but we've made some really good connections here. The sailing community is very tight, and we're really happy to be a part of it. But today, we're officially casting off the lines and saying goodbye to our comfort zone. It's time to move on and up towards Astoria. Let's get a move on.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So where are we going on this beautiful day?
We are gonna go to the Island Marina, which is just up the Columbia a little ways, because it's time for us to start making our way to Astoria, and this is step one.
Yep, it's time for us to move on.
Yeah, we're gonna go to, on Friday, there's a meeting for the Sauvie Island Yacht Club that we were considering joining because they have some pretty sweet incentives, and they're kind of a yacht club meant for cruising. So if it's a good fit, we might join that and then have a yacht club to call home wherever we are in the world. So let's get fired up and go, because I think we're ready.
Okay, and we have Henry,
What?
extra crew. Henry has been working with us a while now, and we're very fortunate to be able to have him aboard today.
Anyway, I plugged in the trip. It is going to be this one. Right here, we're gonna manually steer until we get through the bridges, and then right here, we're gonna start our trip. So we're gonna activate this.
So you want to set up our watches?
We'll do 5-minute watches, Henry. Don't wake me. What are you gonna do, Kelly?
My job is to take the car.
Yes.
I got the easy job, and I'll help you guys dock and undock.
Oh, we're gonna help ourselves, Doc.
And then
I really doubt you're gonna make it in time. Maybe you will.
Why wouldn't she?
It's 25 minutes away.
We have no idea how long it's gonna take us.
Okay.
Because we'll go screaming down that at like 8 knots.
Screaming.
Yeah, we'll see.
Have to slow down for the bridge.
It's all right. Kelly's gonna wave to us goodbye, and then wave hello when we get there.
She's gonna drive over Vancouver waterfront.
It'll take her about 10 minutes to get there, and then wait for another hour for us to show up. There's something I'm forgetting.
Go through the checklist.
Fine.
It's different than the usual departure from here because we're just testing.
Well, it's more of like we're leaving.
I know. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
Like, it's different than usual.
Oh, via chip radio. That's what it was. Yeah.
Hit that button. Ready? Break.
Let's do this.
See you later.
So you can just untie it and let us go. Yeah.
We're off. You are clear. Bye, boys.
Later.
Have fun storming the castle.
Waves coming.
No. You're good. My ears.
Now that the boys are safely on their way, time for me to pack up the car and head on over to meet them.
Any updates, Chris?
Nope, we're just cruising along. We're gonna keep this nice and boring.
Here's Drifter, coming up on the I-5 bridge. Pretty easy to spot, as I'm pretty sure he was the only one enjoying the river today. Next bridge along the course is the Railroad Bridge. This one requires a little more work.
There's the bridge we have to request opening. That's the Railroad Bridge. Railroad Bridge, Railroad Bridge, Railroad Bridge. This is SB Drifter requesting opening. Over.
Drifter, which rail bridge are you calling? Are you on the Columbia?
Yeah, we're on the Columbia asking for the I-5 bridge to be open.
Roger, Captain. You're going to need to call sign KBM Interstate. Over. They're closed for opening during this time, but you can talk to them.
Will do. Thank you. Over.
Channel 15, KBM Interstate.
Gotcha.
Burlington Northern Railroad Bridge is that?
Interstate Railroad Bridge. This is SB Drifter requesting opening.
Do you have a few minutes to open?
I do, yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to get a pen and paper and take down this call sign so there's so I can get you to
Open up, ready when you are.
okay, next time call this KQ, Kilo Quebec, 90049er in the road Vancouver. How copy?
call KQ9049 on channel 13 to have the bridge open?
That is correct, Captain. That'll just avoid some confusion. I'm glad I saw you out there. I thought maybe you were trying to get the interstate bridge, but in any event, I'll open for you now, Captain.
Thank you, sorry for my ignorance, I appreciate it.
Is it opening now?
Happy to say, it looks like the boys were able to make it through.
Captain's log and leaving Portland for the first time and hopefully the last. Here we are, out in the middle of the river. It's ugly. The autopilot seems to be working just fine. Relatively uneventful so far.
I'm not Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly has grown some facial hair.
Nope, Kelly's just cruising down the freeway.
Anyway, the only hairy part we've had so far is dealing with the railroad bridge. Apparently I said it wrong the first 2 times we went through. This time I was corrected. Oh, we got it all taken care of now.
Meanwhile, I'm still driving towards the marina on Sauvie Island.
Quick update here. We're heading up the what is this channel called?
Multnomah Channel, I think.
Multnomah Channel, sure. The autopilot just handled a 90-degree turn like a champ.
Comfortably.
Pretty impressed with that. Anyway, we got one more bridge to circumvent, which is coming up. That's the Sauvie Island Bridge, and then we're getting pretty close. The next exciting part will be docking. And I've never had a problem doing that before.
Yeah, remember last week? Henry was there for that too. I think his face says it all.
Chris had to take over helming because he stopped his wave or his navigation for the autopilot because we think we're close-ish.
We're not that close, but we're close, but we're not that close. It's right there.
But we're close.
It's just, it's very narrow in here and I didn't know what we were going to be facing, so I didn't want to rely on the autopilot while we're going through this area. It's weird to think that we're done with Island Marina. We spent a solid half of a year there when we didn't anticipate being there that long, and you know, that's where we learned to come in and out of a slip and everything else, and we may never go back.
Well, we're definitely not going back anytime soon, that's for sure.
Here's the bridge coming up. It's supposed to have 78 feet of clearance.
Which is good, because we're only about 50 feet tall.
We're going right up the middle.
By this point, I had arrived and started scoping out our new digs. This is really cool. It's like our own little campground. There's the marina and all the slips. Not sure which one is ours yet. I'm gonna go down and check it out. Chris should be arriving any minute. I have his location on Google Maps. But yeah, this is gonna be home for the next couple days. Pretty cool. I think this is it. There is our slip. This is so cool. We have like our own storage locker. Check that out. I could put so many things in here. And there's power. This is awesome. Yep, sometimes you just gotta enjoy the little things. Anyway, back to Chris and Henry. They've been trying to verify the actual clearance of the bridge in relation to the water line. There are markers on the bridge, but they're really hard to see from a distance, especially with all the rain.
Stay tuned. Will they make it?
Finally, through the power of Chris's cell phone and its zoom function, they were able to see the markers.
Yeah, it's over 70 feet high. We got this, mofos.
I'm gonna go play with my fenders.
Okay.
I don't want to offend anyone.
Henry then gets our fenders out on both sides for a proper docking. There they are. Coming in. Got the fenders out, looks good. It's nice calm conditions.
There's your spot.
Hello! Hello, Kelly! I'm going upriver so I can turn into the slip, rather than making a ridiculous turn. Coming about.
About where?
They just had to make a U-turn and now they're coming back so they can line up with the slip.
Almost straight in. You're good. You're drifting towards the dock on Kelly's side. tiny bit. That should be good. You ready?
I pull us in and tie us off on the port side. This is our first time pulling in somewhere and having to tie off on both sides. Chris then jumped off and Henry tossed the lines for tying up the starboard side.
We did it! Should we kill it? I think we're all good.
Probably.
Home for the next 4 days.
We did it!
Yay!
Yay!
Now we're
really
heading
good.
back for tacos.
Yep.
You look awfully tan, Kelly.
After all, it was Taco Tuesday. Now, the following morning.
We brought our home to a new place. And it's a really cute place. I want to show it to you.
Here we go for a brief tour of Island Marina, a privately owned marina located on Sauvie Island in Oregon.
I'm gonna go take a shower and use the facilitas. So this marina is really small, and each of the slips have their own little docks with fingers on either side. So it's kind of neat. Each of the slips gets their own little dollhouse for storage and work projects and things like that. Slips are like this. The current flows this way. So when we came in, we flipped a U-ey and came back, and then you come right into your slip right against the current with just a bit of a crab, so you can slide right in. Plus they have these cool little rollers, so if you get a little hairy coming in, those will guide your boat into your slip without causing damage. I think those are neato. Water hookups, power hookups. Nice carts at the bottom of the stairs, or the ramp. The ramp is easy to traverse even in the icy conditions that we're experiencing today.
And at the top of the ramp,
We got like a fire pit and a private little parking lot. You kind of go through a piece of private property to get here. And here are the bathrooms. There are two, one on either side. I don't know what's in the middle, maybe laundry.
all rooms are locked, but we were given the lockbox passcode upon arrival.
Look at these cute little bathrooms. Private shower. All the things you need to get ready in the morning. So it's quaint. It's nicer than the marina we left because there's less people here.
Now let's check out that middle mystery room and see if it's a laundry facility as suspected.
Ah, look at this. This is great. Little book room. Lots of options. We might need to trade some out here. You got washers and dryers. Don't know if you're noticing one particular thing, but I am. There's no place to put a quarter. That means it's free. All right, this is a part nobody needs to see until I get into my sexy beach body. So I'm gonna shower it up.
By the way, you did an excellent job. Thank you.
Ah, that was quite pleasant. Man, unlimited hot showers, quaint little marina, free laundry, power, water. This place is like a 10 out of 10. It's so cute. Here's a little pan.
This was also a good time for Chris to finish up our patch job. You know, the one from the docking incident last week.
I think I forgot to step on the old footage here, but I definitely have finished it up for as much as we're going to do for now. Just gonna put some primer on it to keep it protected because epoxy is not UV stable, but the primer is. So there's the finished fix. Looks pretty good, and once we sand it and paint the whole hull,
That'll be way in the future during our next haul out.
hopefully you won't see it at all. One less thing on the list. Now we just got to make sure we don't artificially create list items like that.
In preparation for our real departure in heading up to Astoria, we have a few really important errands to run.
So tomorrow we give up our car, and I think it's prudent that we top off our propane tank. Relatively easy today, not so easy tomorrow. It's still pretty full though. I just need to top it off because we're taking off tomorrow. Well, it's a lot heavier now. We have this thing full and the one back at the boat still full, so we're in great shape going forward. Shouldn't need to fill up again until Mexico. Okay. propane is done, and as a bonus, they have the grape-flavored Nas. I never drink energy drinks. Clearly, that's not true. I like the grape ones. It's trashy, man. They're gross, but like in a good way.
The following day. Today's the day we get the car ready for storage, so I have cleaned it out and put some stuff in the recycling, / threw some stuff away, / gave some stuff away. So that's what I've been up to this morning. Got a lot of stuff. We have way too many things, and we're constantly downsizing. I'm not sure what our deal is. I don't know where we're gonna put this stuff, but we'll make it work. Gotta make one final grocery run. Or maybe two. This is where my anxiety about not having a means of transportation really started to kick in. I had a little PTSD from selling my car months ago when we first thought we were about to leave. Shit's getting real. I'm selling my car. Gotta make it clean. But I did it. I dropped off the car.
Here we go. Just walk.
Okay.
We're walking.
We're walking.
Heading to
Sauvie Island Elementary School.
Yeah.
Why?
We're gonna learn our ABCs.
I already know them.
Well, isn't this progressive?
We are actually headed to the Sauvie Island Yacht Club meeting to scope out what the club is all about and see if it's a good fit for us. We finally arrived by foot in the dark, a couple of idiots without headlamps.
I see people in a room, so it shouldn't be difficult to find out where we're going. Right, Kelly? Here we go. I think we've already gotten lost. I think we need to hang a hard left because we're on unimproved roadways.
Good news, we found an entry point and were able to successfully infiltrate the meeting. The meeting was very informative and we met some really warm and encouraging folks. Not sure if our timeline will let us join the club, but it was a great experience to dip our toes into the idea and instantly feel welcomed. Tune in next week as we leave Sauvie Island and head towards our next destination. Or try to.
What are we doing here in St. Helens? This is not where we're supposed to be today. When life breaks your engine, you make lemonade. There we go. Now I look good. Yes, Kelly is gonna.
And then I'll come in for the assist.
Did you dip the lid in hairspray? It could be where you sleep when you get mad at me. And it comes with friends. Hello, friend. How are you? Making sure I can't see my dong. After you, miss.
Thank you.
Touched your butt. If you see that white light on the left side of your screen, that's Kelly's chest.
Yep, that's me.
She glows.
Yep.
She has one of those fancy coats that warms her.
This is what we did in lieu of a headlamp.
Not really. We don't need a headlamp, man. Just get out of the way. That's all you gotta do.
That's it?
I can turn the Starlink on if you want me to.